Hello friends, today we are going to learn the part modeling, and once again welcome back. In tutorial 8 we'll discuss this butterfly valve assembly. In this tutorial we'll make all the parts of this butterfly valve assembly, and then we'll assemble them on a later tutorial. And within this tutorial we will catch the following topics or commands. Our first command, let me introduce the bullet. Our first command is going to be the pad, and next is project 3D element, then pocket, next is going to be the hole, and then circular pattern. Then we'll discuss rotate command, and then of course mirror command, and then split command, and finally the chamfer, and the last shaft and translate. So these are the commands which we are going to cover, and now let's launch CATIA V5, or let's make all the parts of butterfly valve assembly in part modeling workbench. So let's go to CATIA V5, go to mechanical design, click on the part design, and give it a name of arm. So first we are going to make the arm part of the butterfly valve assembly. Let's take the sketch on the top plane and select the circle. Let's make it coincident to horizon, give it a constraint of 112.5. let's make another circle concentric to the previous one, and let's give it constraint of 56.3 diameter constraint. Let's make a horizontal line and give an offset of 6 from the horizontal axis. Let's trim this extension and give the end point to be 35 from vertical axis. Now let's mirror this. Next thing which we are going to do is to mirror this line about this horizontal line, and now let's join the end points of these two lines. Let's go to trim this, and this is our keyhole created. Now let's make another circle being collinear from the previous to the center of the previous circles, and give it a constraint of 87.5 diameter constraint. Give an offset constraint of 240 between the two circles, and give the circle let's make the another circle and give it a constraint of 43.8. Let's get out of the sketch and our first topic to be covered, which was pad. So let's just go to pad and make sure that you have clicked on the mirror extent, which allows you to extend the material on both sides and give it a distance of 62.5 divided by 2. So these are our two cylinders made. Let's have an sketch on the top plane again. Next topic which was to cover is the project 3D element. So we are going to project the 3D elements on the top plane, which is our outer edges of the circular parts. Now let's make the line tangent to both of the circle. Let's give it a tangent. Now let's create the mirror above the horizontal line and trim the outer parts of the circle. So let's just go to quick trim both of the outer parts, get out of the sketch. So this is our profile which is to be extruded. Let's click on the mirror extend and give it a value of 25 by 2. So this is our first part created. Let's create the second part, give it a name of body, click on OK button. Let's take the sketch on the top plane and make 2 circles. Let's give the first circle to have a diametrical constraint of 280 and second circle to have a diametrical constraint of let's say 194. Let's get out of the sketch, pad this on mirror extent. Let's give it a value of 225 divided by 2, and this is our pad created. Let's take a sketch on the YZ plane. Let's define another plane, reference plane, offset to be the YZ plane, and again a plane at 165. So first plane was at 160, second was at 165. Let's take the sketch on the plane at 165 and make a circle, give it a diametrical constraint of 75. Let's get out of the sketch. Let's pad this, and instead of dimension we are going to define up to surface. This time I choose the surface of cylinder. Let's take the sketch on the other plane, which is at 160. Make a circle, give it a diametrical constraint to be, let's say, 200. Get out of the sketch, go to pad, go to up to surface, click on the surface, click OK button. So this is created. Next is our pocket command. So we are going to remove the material by pocket. Let's have a sketch on the top surface of this circular profile and make a circle of, let's say, 100 mm diametral constraint. Let's get out of this sketch and give a pocket of 25 dimension. Let's take this sketch on the other surface and make another circle, and this time let's give it a dimensional constraint of 56 mm. Get out of the sketch and create a pocket of, let's say, 325 minus 25. Oops, I think the direction was opposite out of the material. So let's reverse the direction and click on the preview and OK. So this time we have successfully created a hole. Next thing to cover, let's just have another sketch on the top plane to create a hole, but I think this is to create a hole. we are going to create a hole, and to create a hole, this is not compulsory to make a sketch. Let's just select the top surface, go to hole wizard and click on the sketch. So this automatically allows you to create a sketch. Let's drag this point and give a position to this point. Let's say we are going to position it at 150 divided by 2. This is the horizontal position, and we want this point to be 0 from the horizontal, which is the vertical position. And let's just give the diameter of the hole to be 20 and depth to be 15. And let's say we want the bottom to be V type. So this is our hole created. The next command is the circular pattern. So let's just select the hole which you want to make a circular pattern. Click on the circular pattern, give the instances to be 3 and angular spacing to be 360 divided by 3. Reference element, select the circular part, circular surface, and this type of circular pattern is created. Let's take the sketch on the top surface of this object and make the circle. Let's say give it a diametral distance constraint to be 100. Let's project the outer and inner edges of the circle. It looks it's already, I think, projected. Now next thing to do is to define the distance between the origin and center of circle. Let's say it's to be 165, and make another circle on the same center point of the previous one. Let's just give it a value of 47 and create a line tangent to make a profile. Now let's just trim all these extensions. Just trim this extension. Let's make sure that these lines are created as horizontal line, and now let's trim all these extension parts to make an appropriate. I want this profile to be in number 3. So to do so, we will perform the rotate command. So let's just select this profile which you want to rotate, go to rotate command, select on the circle about select on the point about which you want to rotate, give the instances to be 2 and give the value of degrees to be 120. Now let's just again quick trim all the extension parts and get out of this case. So this is the part which I want to profile, which I want to pad, and let's reverse the direction and give the value to be 32. So this type we have created the top portion. Now let's just go to mirror. So we want a mirror of the top pad about the top plane. So click on the pad and click on the top plane to be reference plane. So this type we have created the mirror. Our second part is created. Next part is nut. Let's just create the nut. Take the sketch on the top plane, make the hexagonal profile, and give it a constraint of 64. Let's say let's make the circle on the origin point and give it a constraint to be 37. Let's get out of the sketch and make a pad. Make sure that you have mirror extent, selected mirror extent, and give it a value of 25 divided by 2. Let's take the sketch on the top surface to make a chamfer profile to the nut. let's make a circle and make it tangent to the edge of the nut. Let's convert it into construction geometry, but it won't be visible after getting out of the sketch. So let's just again revert back to a solid circle, and let's just have this sketch on the YZ plane and project that line part and create it as a construction geometry. Now let's just create another line and give it an angular constraint of 30 degrees. Let's get out of the sketch and give a command to command bar. This time I'm going to type C colon and revolve. This will create a revolved surface about revolution axis, let's say Z axis, and give the angle to be 180. So this type we have created a surface. Now next command to be covered is a split. I'm going to split the surface from the body, so let's give it downward direction and let's hide the surface. So performing this type of operations, we have created an appropriate nut. Now next thing to be created is, let's say, plate. Let's take the sketch on the top plane and take the ellipse, give the center point, give the major axis point and minor axis point. Let's go to define constraint. Let's double click on this and give a diameter to be 193.8, which is the major portion. Now let's define the semi-minor axis. Let's double click on this and give it a value of 205, which is this time major value. Let's give the diameter to be 12.5 to the other circle. Let's give the position to be 50 and make a mirror of this one about this axis. Let's get out of the sketch and make a pad of this. Make sure that you have created mirror extend and give it a value of 3. So this type we have created a plate, and next thing which we want to create is the retainer. Let's take the sketch on the top plane. Let's create a circle, give it a diameter constraint to be 200 and let's make the other circle, give it a dimensional constraint to be 56. Let's make the third circle and give it a dimension constraint to be, let's say, 20.3. let's give a horizontal distance to the center of the circle to be at 150 divided by 2, that is 75. Now let's rotate this circle about the origin point. To do so, let's go to rotate, click on the center point, give the instances to be 2 and choose the degrees to be 120. Let's get out of the sketch, create a pad at a mirror extent and give it a value of 25 divided by 2. This type we have created a retainer. Next thing to create is our, let's say, screw. Click on OK button, take the sketch on the top plane, make a circle, give it a dimensional constraint to be 20, let's say. Get out of the sketch, make a pad of 41 and next thing to cover is the chamfer. So let's go to chamfer and give it a value of 3. Select on the edge, click on the edge. So the chamfer has been created. Now let's take a sketch on YZ plane. It's our front plane and let's make a circle collinear to horizon and vertical direction. Let's give a diametral constraint to be 30 and a vertical position to be 41. Now let's just create a line, a horizontal line, and trim the lower part of the circle. Let's make another line and trim the remaining part. Let's convert this vertical line to be construction line. Get out of the sketch. This time we are going to cover the shaft command. Let's select this vertical line to be axis of revolution and click on the OK button. So as I told, this time we are going to cover the shaft command, which is the shaft, and let's just click OK button. Have this sketch again on the YZ plane and make a rectangle. Give a rectangle to be at 3, and let's just give it a constraint to be at 1.5 and another at 3, and let's just make a pocket definition to this rectangle. So this time we have created screw. Next part is our shaft. On this we will cover the shaft command. Let's make a profile like this, having some line segments, and make sure that you have arranged on the line all the lines having some horizontal and vertical distances only. Let's convert this axis line to be construction line and make the bigger groove having a distance of 43.75. Then next groove add to be 28, and finally the smaller one add to be 37.5 divided by 2. Now next thing to define is the horizontal dimensions. Let's say 68. Next is 80. Oops. And finally let's give the total value of 172, and let's give this side to be at 290. So this type we have created the profile which we want to create a shaft of, and as on the shaft command, click on the shaft, select the axis, click on the preview. So this is our shaft created. Take the sketch on YZ plane and make a rectangle. Let's give the side of the rectangle from the edge of the shaft to be 58, and let's give the horizontal side of the rectangle to be at 194. Let's get out of the sketch, create a pocket, say 40 distance, click on the mirror extend and click on OK button. Let's take the sketch on the flat part, cut section. Let's make a circle on this, give it a diametral constraint to be 12. Now let's position this from the top edge of the cut section to be at 47. Let's get out of this. Next command what we need to cover is the translate command. So let's just look the translate command. Select the circle, click on the translate, click on the center point and let instances to be 1 and give the value to be 100. Click on OK and give the direction. Let's get out of the sketch, make a pocket up to last and click on OK button. So this type we have created a shaft also. Here I'm going to conclude this tutorial 6. Thanks for watching tutorials from CAT Desk Head Office.